And that looks like everyone's on the grid, so we should have the green lights. Here we go. We will go on board. We're looking at P1 Felipe, who's got a really good start with Nicholas Verone covering off Max Stein in third, taking on the wider line into turn 1. It looks like no one's sending it yet up the inside. We have had contacts at the back. We'll try and have a look at that later. It looks like Nicholas is actually running away with this one into turn 1. And then we've got Marcel Kiefer, who's made up a couple of places. He's already running in 4th position, it would seem. He's challenging for 3rd. Philip Spencer defending on the inside, with Felipe Fant closely followed behind. This is going to be really interesting now. Can Marcel Kiefer keep it around the outside? He can. He's going to have the natural line going into turn 4. He can hold it on the inside and force Philip Spencer to take the wider line. He is doing. He's actually got in front. And then further back, Ricky Castell looks to be in a good battle as well for 7th position. Alexander Murisu, I believe, has got up a few positions. There was a couple of crashes that we will have a look at the end of this lap. And Dreadnought, you want to have a look at Al Almendinger of Carolina. He's in P10 at the moment. I could not remember where AJ started, sorry. But let's have a look at P3 and P4. Look like they're running pretty close. And Marcel Kiefer looks like he's gained on Will Palmer as well. Racing into turn 1, Philip Spencer looks like he's on the inside line. Felipe Fant on the outside. Felipe, if he holds it around the outside, which he hasn't, would have had the better line into turn 2. But he's opened up the car. He's got a good exit. He started 18th. Oh, AJ Almond is an IRL racer. Oh, I didn't know that. I know Marcel Kiefer is F1 esports racer. He's in 3rd at the moment. Felipe, lovely move down the inside with Philip Spencer not really doing too much of an effort to defend that one. Marcel Kiefer looks like he's all over the back of Will Palmer now. Going into the tight, twisty section. Marcel, who had a 2nd lap in qualifying spin. Outrage, hey Salter, guess what? Just got P2 in Indy Top Split. Outrage continues his assault on the what split are you in? Well, what division are you in? Is it 2nd tier? Now 103 points clear of P2 in series. Nice. Oh, you did 4. Okay. Still, you need to get that certificate, print it off, and put it on your wall. Where are we? Marcel Kiefer now. I mean, this is going to have a megato into turn 1. So if he doesn't make this happen, then, well, he needs to do. Plain and simple. He's going to run right to the last minute, pull out late on the brakes into turn 1. If Will Palmer can hold a good line there and get a good exit into turn 2, he does have a chance at taking him back. Although Marcel Kiefer, a fantastic move at making that stick as well. Do you know who Marcel... Marcel Kiefer is F1 Esports. I actually don't know what team. I can't remember what team, but I have seen him race quite a few times. I was in a Bathurst race with him the other day. Bob, I'll have you know that Outrage has been smashing the BMW fixed and got a... He streams too. Yeah, I follow him as well. I'm sure he's streaming this race. Will Palmer is keeping him honest, though. Robert Plumley, also of Kinduchi Racing on iRacing, on Twitch, sorry. He's in a good battle. I think Plumley started, I think he was like 12th or something like that. He was 13th, in fact, so he's up to 11th, made up a couple of places, with Michael Balanek in front of him and Tristan Cooper running closely behind. Let's have a look at a bit of an onboard from Robert. Currently on to gain 7 iRating, so he needs to stay in this position. He needs to hold this. Otherwise, he does face losing some iRating. We do get great racing into turn 1 on this track. Who have we got? We've got Michael Balanet with Plumley right behind him. And in front of him, who is that? Is that AJ? It is AJ going into turn 1 and holding it. Plumley's making it stick. But Tristan Cooper is going to get a good exit down into turn 3, I'm sure. Anyway, back to my stream. Good luck. I presume you're in the BMW at 9:30 Outrage. Good luck with that, my friend. Michael Balanak, like we said, is all over the back of Plumley now, going into turn 4. 1, 2, 4, I think, yeah. But then Plumley's also making progress on Alexander Mirasay, who's currently running in 9th. Will Palmer, again, glued to the back of Marcel Kiefer for 2nd place. So there's a good battle going on there. And there's been a mover. We've got Alexander Mirasay, who has looked like he's had a bit of a crash. My mistake. Here we go. So who's falling down the leaderboard is now running in 18th. So something's happened here. He spun it on his own, and he's hit the tyres and his, well, there we go, new tyre model demonstrated there. Right, sort him off to bed. Good night. Good luck with the stream. Thank you, Bob. Congrats again on the new member to the family. And there, as we suspected, Alexander has retired, in fact, I believe, back to the pits. Racing for P2. Will Palmer again putting Marcel Kiefer under a lot of pressure. Marcel Kiefer going defensive into turn 3. I'm just 1, 2. Okay, this is turn 4. My apologies. I've been saying turn 4, so I did get it right. But yeah, into turn 4. Doing a good job, Marcel. He is currently on to gain 45. He's a 4,500 iRacing, which I guess for an F1 esports driver is what we expect. So he's racing pretty well. Is prone to a couple of mistakes we saw in qualifying, but we'll forgive him because it was qualifying and obviously probably pushing a little bit too much. But Will Palmer keeping him honest. What have we got going out on track? We've got Max Stein has made a pass around the outside into turn 5. Is this round the outside? I believe it is. This is a really good move if he makes this stick. Yeah, it's fantastic. And now he's got the natural line look to keep that left-hander and just cover him off. Get on the power early. He's pushed him wide. Yeah, I mean, that's fair, although he's having a bit of a fight back with... in fact, I don't even know. Is that... yes, Jack Egg, who does a fantastic job of taking that. That was fantastic racing there. And then Max Stein look all the way, and we're actually going to go live because these guys would now be going on the back straight into turn... or the main straight into turn 1. With Max Stein taking a wider line there, and he wants to sweep around the outside. But Jacek will get a good drive out of there, and he's going to take it into turn 4 with Max Stein going defensive straight away. He wants that inside line and wants to keep it there. He doesn't want Jacek to have that. He's going to force him around the outside. Later on the brakes, Jack Egg has gone a little bit deep there, and Max gets a great drive out of there. Should have a little bit of space to pull a gap. Further ahead, Tristan Cooper and Michael Balanak also racing really hard. So we're going into turn 5, now turn 6, right-hander. And again, these two guys racing hard for P10. So we have got battles up and down the field. We'll have a look at Filippo Fant once these guys have finished doing what they're doing, which is great. And Michael Balanak there. So what we're going to have here is Tristan is surely going to have a fantastic drive into turn 1. We'll go on board with him and we'll see the power of the toe, which in this car is pretty huge. Already taking effect. I mean, this could be just a straight position change. Although Tristan makes it stick, and that puts Michael Balanak down into 11th. Tristan is going to be the sitting duck now as the slipstream takes effect. Can Tristan go defensive? He does go defensive. He's trying to force Michael around the outside, but driving well. And at the front, Nicholas Verone is driving away from Marcel Kiefer, who's had a good race so far. He's up 4 positions. Will Palmer in 3rd, closely followed by Filippo Fant and Philip Spencer, with Marcel actually setting the quickest lap of the race so far, 27.251. And Robert Plumley, also on Twitch as Kinduchi Racing. He's running in 8th. Robert is up 5 positions, so where he was originally running in 11th, I believe, a few laps ago, he's now on to gain 32 iRacing, so a little bit more comfortable for him. So that'll be a good position, but he has got Hugo Garcia very, very close behind him, so he needs to keep his focus. Just a reminder, if you're new to the stream, if you're not following, then please do, be much appreciated. Philip Spencer looks to be racing with Filippo Fant. These guys are super close on track now. Heading into turn 5, this long sweeping right-hander, which we've seen already someone spin and hit the barriers. Tristan Cooper. Looks like we've had some contact somewhere, or was this Tristan on his own getting it all wrong? Yeah, I mean, it looks like he already had a bit of a shaker on that back end of that car, probably overheated the tyres, and he spun into turn 6. So Filippo Fant going into turn 1 now, or soon to be going into turn 1. This is for 4th position at the moment with Filippo, and we've got Will Palmer not too far ahead now at this point. So Will Palmer, Filippo Fant and Philip Spencer, they are starting to bunch up with AJ Almendinger in P6. And we have got someone just coming out of the pits. Who is that? That's Alexander Murise, who we saw hit the barriers into turn 6, I believe. So he's going to be running a lap down now. Marcel Kiefer still running in 2nd. Full chrome livery on that car. Will Palmer in 3rd. Filippo Fant in 4th, and Philip Spencer closely followed in 5th.
Thank you.
Rafa Serna. We've not actually looked at Rafa's race so far. He's been quiet. Looks like he's been having a good race though. He's made up 8 positions. So he must have had a dismal qualifying, but he's having a good race now. And he's closely following Jakeg, who's running in 12th. Filippo Fant is closely following Will Palmer again. Will setting a slightly quicker lap time then, 27.6. And we've had a spinner, which is Marcel Kiefer, who's had a moment. What's happened there? So into turn 1, Marcel Kiefer. Into turn 2, gets a little bit on the grass. The car goes round. And does he hit the barriers? He's really hit the barriers. He's lost the wing on the back end. That's going to be game over. It also looks like he's got suspension damage. He's quit to the pits. And I don't think we'll be seeing Marcel again. If we do, we'll certainly keep an eye on that. That promotes Will Palmer up into 2nd position. And Robert Plumley is having a great race. He's up to 7th, and he's following Joshua Daniels in 6th. He's less than a second behind, running about half a second behind Joshua Daniels. So he's doing a great job. He's actually up 6 positions. On to gain 40 iRacing at this point. So it's a good race so far for Robert. We are halfway there. We're just going to cross over the halfway point, in fact, on this lap. So the leaders are now gone to lap 11 of 20. Leader just going into turn 2. Robert Palmer, who's quite a few seconds behind now. We've got 7, nearly 8 seconds gap, and then we've got Filippo less than a second behind Will, who is lapping slower, but I do think it's just the power of the toe. I think he's able to close back up in the straights. Will's probably naturally a little bit quicker through the corners, getting that gap extended, and then Will's closing that again due to the power of the slipstream in this car. Robert Plumley, sorry, again, really close now behind Joshua Daniels. So I think if he gets 6th position, Robert Plumley will be, yeah, he'll be very happy with that, especially starting where he did. He's on to gain 40. He started 6 places behind, so started a lot lower than where he is now, but he's been having a good race. He's kept it clean. Obviously, we had a couple of retirements so far as well. I do recall as well when we were on lap 1, there was quite a big incident as well going into turn 1. Plumley needs to get behind Joshua Daniels and really closing into turn 1. Out of turn 3 into this back straight. Is it a back straight or it's a front straight? Because it's very early in the lap. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's a back straight to me, but it is a straight. Robert Plumley there. Closing right up, less than 3/10 now. And again, these cars really do have a really strong toe, so it's easy to follow. And if you do lose a position, it's all right. Slot back in, and then do the same thing to what that person's just done to you. Philip Spencer and AJ, looks like they're close on track as well. Not as close as Robert was, but they're still having a good race. Michael Balanak, let's go have a look at Michael. He's running very close behind Rafa Serna. He's running in 11th at this point. And we've got 1.4 seconds up the road to Jakeg and Max, who's again got more of a gap. Hugo Garcia also having a good race, up 6 positions. And this is the battle for 6th position. We've got Joshua Daniels of the US, Robert Plumley of the UK and Ireland. Joshua Daniels has currently gained the 1 position, so he started down in 7th. Robert Plumley has had a really good race. We know already he's up 6 positions. And it looks like Daniels there making a slight mistake, was it, into that sharp right-hander into the left now. And then I always feel that these 2 corners, the 2 right-hand, the sort of sharper corners, they feel very similar corners in my opinion. This run down. Oh, what's happened to Robert Plumley is now out according to the timing board. We have had what looks like a bit of a crash going on somewhere. Where was that? We'll see if we can. So Plumley, something's happened to Plumley. I'm not quite sure. And we did have a spinner who looks like, oh, he spun on his own. And did he come back on the track safely? He did. So that's happened. Dennis has also had a bit of a moment. And this was with, I'm not sure what happened there, whether he just decided to let everyone through in a way that was meant putting on the handbrake. Another spinner, is it? Michael Balanek. So easy to lose the back end. Gone in too hot there. Carried too much speed. Too much energy in the back end of that car. And it sent it round. Still don't really know what happened. Ah, Plumley's back. So we lost him temporarily, but we've got him back. So that's good to know, and he's still following Joshua Daniels. Still following Joshua. Philip Spencer, also having a really good race. He's going to be in prime position to get the toe. So it closes on AJ into turn 1 through turn 2. This is through turn 3, and then we've got the straight heading into turn 4. And only a little bit up at the road is Felipe Fant. So we've lap 15, and we're currently lap 15, so we've still got quite a few laps of these guys racing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can watch this unfold. And we watch AJ in the middle of the sandwich of these two cars. That should give us a good viewpoint. I do think this track combination, they suit each other pretty well. Formula cars around effectively a Formula 1 track. That's a good combination. So all the way back to lap 1. Here was the start. And we're on board with Mirko Lupini, who looks like he just got caught with... There was too many cars going into one corner. And that's what happens. I believe this is Peter Robbins who had that contact as well with Mirko. Is that right? Yeah, yeah. So that's like 3 cars. We're caught up in that turn 1 on the first lap. So Nicholas Verone out in P1, 9-second gap to Will Palmer, who's running second. Felipe Fant is running third. Was that back markers? It was. That was Drogovic. He's actually 13 laps down. Felipe Fant in third position. AJ Almendinger in fourth. So he's had a good race, up 13 positions. Our highest mover, in fact. So clearly having a great race. Philip Spencer in 5th position. And I'm a little bit surprised that Philip's not made more progress, especially been so close behind 2 cars. Further ahead, Felipe and AJ are racing now into turn 1. We've only got 3 laps left. We're on lap 17. Let's see if AJ gets a good run out of there into turn 3. Going into turn 4 now. With Filippo going defensive. That'll give AJ a good exit there, and Filippo also going wide. He's squeezing AJ though, but AJ should have a good line now. They're running side by side. This should be quite easy to defend, but if AJ holds it around the outside, he'll have a good opportunity. There's super close racing, so he just needs to keep it there. Does AJ running a natural line now? He's got the natural racing line back, and he makes that move stick. So that was 3 or 4 corners that he took, but he's got in front. Filippo's not slow though, and AJ making a little bit of a mistake there. So Filippo super close, and obviously we've got Philip Spencer not far behind as well. So let's have a look if Filippo can get the move done into turn 1. So AJ doing a good job of holding Filippo off. Again, Philip Spencer, he's watching patiently, and if we do have any content, then this is Philip's to prosper from. That'll put Philip up into 3rd position. So this is a battle for the podium. Philip quite late on the brakes there, or was Filippo a little bit early? So AJ and Filippo at the front of this battle. Again, battle for 3rd position. Despite it saying 2nd on the right-hand side of the stream. Who's going to win this one? AJ having a blinding race. He's up 14 positions, so he clearly didn't make the most of qualifying. We did have Marcel Kiefer running in 2nd. Marcel of Formula 1's eSports series. Also a streamer on Twitch. But we saw Marcel lose the car into turn 2 and hit the barrier, so he lost his rear spoiler. AJ's had a really good run out of that last corner, and I do think that Filippo's a little bit too far behind. But that does mean that Philip Spencer, who's been waiting patiently, can have a look down the outside into turn 1. Can he get the cut back? So he's slotted in. Filippo going off the track there and sending Philip Spencer into the... Oh, I think he's got away with that. In fact, Filippo's also spun. Let's have another look at that. So Filippo went just a little bit wide, got on the grass, and, well, he kept his foot in it, and the car bouncing around there. What happened with Filippo? He spun through all of that, which I presume was from Philip hitting the rear end, and yeah, that's put him round. And we're back up to racing speed. All right, so we still got Robert Plumley has now taken 6th position. Filippo dropped to 7th place. AJ and Philip in 3rd and 4th position. So Philip clearly not too damaged, although his front spoiler does look a little bit worse for wear. But I think he's going to keep hold of that position. AJ now in a clear 3rd position. We'll watch Robert Plumley. We are on the last lap now. We have got the white flag. So it looks like Robert Plumley heading up the hill onto the start finish. He is going to start his white flag lap. So last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Robert having a really good race as well, up 7 positions. And what could be 5th position if this goes well. So he's putting Joshua Daniels under pressure now. And if Robert has a good exit there, he could be racing into turn 4. They are super close behind now. So he just needs to keep it cool, and it could even go down to the last corner. There is no rain in this in iRacing, so the Timo Glock isn't racing in this, so there's going to be no it's Glock, is that Glock, is that Glock? It's not going to happen. Robert Plumley clearly driving a little bit too hard there, and I think that's probably meant that Joshua Daniels will take 5th position. Nicholas Verone led from the start, and he's finished the race. Will Palmer just about to cross the line. He's had a good race. He's kept it towards the front. Started in 4th position, takes 2nd, with AJ taking 3rd. Philip Spencer is going to take 4th position. Joshua Daniels, Robert Plumley, not too far behind. He's going to take 6th. Again, fantastic race for Robert. Hugo Garcia in 7th. And Max Stein is going to bring it home in 8th position. Rafa Cerna takes 9th. Ludovic is taking 10th. And Michael Balanek in 11th. Jakeg. I must be saying that wrong. Jakeg. It's not egg. Jakeg. Takes 12th. Tristan Cooper takes 13th. Ricky Castell just exited the last corner, so quite a gap back to Ricky. Actually lost a few positions. Lost 5 positions on this one, so not the best race for him. Mirko. We did see Mirko in an early incident, and Filippo that was running, I think, 4th or 3rd at one point. He's going to bring it home in 16th. So it's a really good race, with Nicholas taking P1, the checkered flag. We saw Marcel Kiefer lose the car on his own, unfortunately. He was running a comfortable 2nd at the time. This was Jakek, who had a moment all on his own in the Alfa Romeo liveried Dallara 3. We've seen that a couple of times in this race. It's unfortunate. But he certainly dropped a few positions there, and even getting this car pointed in the right direction can often be a struggle. So that was the race. It was the SIMUCUBE F3 series. And your results are in. Forget the points. But again, Nicholas Verone, Will Palmer and AJ taking the top 3 there. Philip Spencer in 4th. Joshua Daniels taking 5th. Robert Pumley, fantastic race, in 6th position. Hugo Garcia 7th. Max Stein 8th. Rafa Cerna and Ludovic Barriere in 10th.